Hey guys, welcome to another SEGA stream. This time it's Amplitude's turn. I have with me Jeff Spock, narrative director of Amplitude Studio, and Romain de Vaubert, who's our creative director. And wait, what's your new fancy title?
Oh, I change titles all the time.
All right, well that's
what you can do when you're studio manager.
I got this
head of
one.
studio.
I got this one. It's Chief Creative
Chief
Officer.
Creative Officer and co-founder as well. All right.
And I will change again.
I'm actually jealous now. I didn't used to be
yeah,
jealous.
I mean,
now
I'm just the
always
same
jealous.
old community developer. Anyway, so yeah, François. So we're here today to talk about Humankind. I know that there's been a lot of talk on social networks about the incredible music that we have in the trailer. And I want you guys to know that we're trying to get the phone number of that Neanderthal. So Sapiens, guys.
Sapiens.
Actually,
Sapiens.
yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we do find the phone number of that dude, we'll definitely let you know, so he can play the full song. Right. So we actually have quite a lot to talk about because we only announced the game last night, and everything else is shrouded in mystery. So we have quite a few things to show. I mean, we have a few things to show, but we're in here for the long haul because we've got until 2020 to go, right?
Yes.
So we're just going to talk about it pretty, nice and slow. So we've got quite a few cool features, but let's just talk about, the idea. Where does it come from? How far did we get Humankind from? I guess that sort of sentence makes sense, but tell us about it.
No, it's been a dream project for me. It's more or less the reason why I make video games today. So and obviously, it takes time to be able to first of all to work in the video game industry, then to work on the games that you dream to do. But when we met with Jeff and a bunch of other people from actually at the time we were at Ubisoft, and we were all big strategy fans. We were dreaming actually to create the 4X of our dreams, and we're dreaming to create Humankind.
Yes.
So the problem is we thought we had no chance of doing that right away, but as we started to have some game experience by the time,
right.
Okay, you know what, let's have the studio and we'll make a few games before to learn to make a 4X.
Yeah.
And what we did at first was in the space, and in the space obviously it was a bit easier task for us because the game is in space, it's a bit empty. We could focus also on battles, to have a huge, beautiful aesthetic battles as well, to have it to be easier to be noticed as well. So that was the very beginning, and then with Legend, we were able to experiment with some of the basic features of Humankind.
Yeah.
And some of the basic features
Right.
are having the terrain,
The 3D terrain,
the
exactly.
terrain, the narration as well. We started with the narration on Endless Space as well to really expand on narration as well.
It was light in Endless Space. We added a lot more in Legend, and even more in Endless Space 2.
Yeah.
So that's been something we've been learning and growing along the road as well.
Right. This is Matt from the tech team. We have a whole tech team. They're the unsung heroes of the. Oh yeah, can't see it. Well, there was Matt. Matt is actually the guy with the scorpion shield in the middle.
Yeah.
He's really buff, but as you can see from not seeing his eyes, he's kind of shy.
He was one of the original 300, just so you know.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so
exactly.
we do have a tech team with us, and they're actually helping us run the stream. Shout out to Matt and Jay. And also, we're we're both streaming on Twitch and YouTube. So if you guys have any questions, I'm not sure if we're broadcasting to Steam or Periscope. I don't know if those are even things still. But don't hesitate to join us in the Twitch chat or YouTube chat if you want to ask
Say
any
something
questions,
nice.
have any comments. Yeah,
sorry.
as long as they're nice, because we're not here to take abuse, right? Right. Anyway, let's talk about the game some more, I guess.
Yeah.
So. We already have a first question, which is what is going to make this game unique compared to other turn-based strategy titles that people might be more familiar with. I'm guessing that Legend is one. Other very famous games are others, but
May exist.
Exactly, may exist.
So each time when we worked on any of our 4Xs, we always wanted to make sure we were bringing something unique and new to the genre. One thing also we brought with all our past games, I'm sorry if I talk about the past, but the past is what defines this game today. So it's also making sure that whenever you play our games, they must feel good to sink in. To when you spend 8 hours not realizing you spend the whole night on the game. It must feel good. Because it's beautiful. Because it's a great
immersion,
universe.
It's got to be interesting. It's got to be
Interaction,
challenging, compelling. Yes.
So it's a lot of work, and I think it's a lot of our past experiences that taught us, to probably tackle that. I think for us, for too long, the 4X genres was often, kind of a gamer's game for gamers. Programmer's game for programmers.
Right.
And and wanted to make sure, it was not just a programmer's game. It's not an Excel sheet. It's an experience you're going to live in. So that's one. So that's not fully answering the question with how is that game unique.
I mean, let's not give everything away from the start.
But it's just to build up a bit, but it's something that's definitely all these elements, the atmosphere, the ambience, from all our games, and again with Humankind, it certainly will stand it apart from any game in the competition. Now, gameplay-wise, there's one thing, when we look at history that for us is not represented anywhere else, is that, when you look at any single country today, they have a rich history, a rich past, which often is, a combination, of succession of cultures,
Many different previous cultures whose history is overlaid bit by bit over time, starting from who knows what to the Romans, the Visigoths, the Holy Roman Empire, the Russians, the Huns. I mean, Europe has been this sort of melting pot for centuries, millennia, of different cultures.
And not just Europe.
America,
Yeah.
North, South, and somehow this never really seems to be translated into a strategy game, and that's one of the things that we wanted to do.
And the good thing is, like with that, so it is key in quite a few ways. Historically, it will bring you a lot more immersion. What you will believe. More like the world you will see around you. For example, if I'm playing medieval ages, I did evolve, in the Franks. Around me, I will have, the English, the Holy Roman Empire, and it will make a lot more sense. So if I go to war, I will feel that I'm reproducing some of these, medieval times wars. So that is one. One thing is, evolving does not mean destroying. If I'm evolving to something else, I keep, whatever I was from before. So if I am an Egyptian, which is a great building culture, whenever I move in, let's say I move to the Greeks, I will be a great commercing, culture, and still be the good builders I was as an Egyptian. I will still be able to build my pyramids, and will still have access to the chariot archers, which is a very unique, very cool units from the Egyptians. So my armies will be great, interesting combinations from the past and the present. My culture will be a combination of the past and the present, and of course my economy, my science, everything about what will define me. It's my past and present.
Okay, so actually a couple of questions in the chat that we just answered. So, will the cultures you choose first will have an impact on the later stage of the game? Well, yes, because as Romain said, it's building blocks that are historically authentic. Is
yes
the word we're going for? So basically, whether you're going for something that is that fits your playstyle, or is just responding to what your neighbors are doing. Let's say everybody's building military. You're like, what? I'm just going to take like the Huns or the Romans and build a gigantic army. Or if you're just going by your favorites, this is your civilization you're building, and the building blocks are yours to choose. But I think actually people might be able to steal civilizations away, cultures away from you to make sure you don't get them.
So basically what you have today, we have like 60 different cultures, right? Yeah. And for 6 different eras, 10 culture per era. Whenever I arrive to an era, I can pick any culture. When I pick it, no one else can pick it. So if I come and pick the Romans,
Smart.
No one else will be able to Romans in that game. So there's a bit of a rush sometimes. You can rush to try to pick something you really want to have. Doing that though, maybe you will not fully be able to take advantage of the previous culture you were. And these cultures are important to be able to score fame, and fame is the other key feature of the game. It's like, the way we look at history, we want to make sure that as a player, you can look at, as a historian looks back at the history, and that for us, it's called by fame. How did you mark history when you play the game? It's all about the journey, not the end, and that's what matters to us. So whenever I'm the Mongol, I have this huge empire, and slowly I collapse to something smaller. But what I did was so amazing that maybe actually people will remember me for the end of times, and that's maybe what matters to me as a historian. So we'll always try to make sure we are marking history, make sure that in the end we are the ones who will be remembered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean traditionally in strategy games, the winning condition is whoever has like the largest bat to hit the others with wins the game. And that seems like a really reductionist way to look at the span of human history.
Yeah.
And so the idea that you can actually have a victory condition through what you built in earlier eras, or through the scientific discoveries you made, the exploration you did, the idea that all that gets reduced and ignored because some other guy has a bigger bat, that to me that just seems a really unfortunate way to determine who wins the game. So the fact that we have this fame mechanic that actually tracks the discoveries, the deeds, the buildings. Once you start pulling all of that into a mechanic or a number that somehow translates to what your impact on the planet was, or what your impact on humanity was, I just think it makes a much more interesting game and a much more interesting solution and final state of the game than just like I have a bigger army, I win.
Absolutely.
That drives me nuts.
Yeah. Well, it's true. Like it's not really fun to see someone who's been not very good for the whole game. Just winning at the very end. And what does it mean winning at the very end? Because if you look back at history 7 later, maybe you will not remember that small moment in the history, which is maybe the last turn for you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want one of your neighbors to just turtle up, let you bash your other neighbors, and then just come and reap the benefits.
No.
That's unfair, because you're the one who's been ass-kicking the whole time, and you should be the one that's being remembered down the line. They shouldn't be. That would not be cool. Someone was asking about the future of Sonic. Actually, Sonic could not be contacted for comments. I saw him sometimes earlier. He was late for an appointment. He told me, gotta go fast. Sorry, Buff. Can answer that. Jeff, I had a question for you. Yes. This is the first game that we're departing from the Endless Universe.
Yes.
Which is a universe that has the senior narrative person, as the narrative director, sorry.
Yeah. Can I be chief narrative director? Can I change my title?
I mean,
we can do
for today only.
I love that.
I wanted to have your thoughts on that. Like, how freeing is it to not, finally be writing yourself into a corner every time you come up with a new species?
Yeah. No, in a way, in some ways, a lot of it's a culmination of a lot of the things we've learned narratively in the previous games we've done. I think one of the things about playing a game based on Earth cultures is that you don't need to have sort of an introductory faction quest to kind of explain who you are and why you are what you are. Mm-hmm. It's sort of a much more natural thing to sort of pick up and play an Earth civilization. So to one extent, some of the narrative crutches that we had in there to help explain things we don't need. And to another extent, we've learned a lot about systemic narration and the creation of moments and events and quests that develop more organically out of the gameplay rather than being sort of written by Jeff and then pasted on the game. So I think what's going to be really interesting in Humankind is to have these things that will be very unique to the different gameplays and different game situations, different culture choices, different eras. And so the experience as you play through the game will have narrative elements, but those narrative elements will in fact not just be rarely repeated, but sometimes, in some cases, difficult to repeat. And I think that's going to add. I think that adds a really interesting narrative layer to all this, like the great art and the great game design.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, someone was asking about, they were bouncing off of what I was saying. Killing Everything is a very Eurocentric view of history, and I would say that it's maybe what we were taught in school, but I mean, as we're finding out, it's less and less accurate. But we're indeed, as you were saying in Twitch chat, trying to take another approach. Like we're always, and it's been true since I think Endless Legend, even maybe Endless Pace. Well, maybe not the very first Endless Pace, but we've always been trying to see how we could come up with other interesting ways of winning the game. If you look at Endless Legends, actually I think it's the strategy game that had the most victory conditions possible in a game. We're really trying a lot of things.
Yes.
And although we did contact the Guinness Book of Record because that record was held by, I think, Civ 4, Civ 3. They had a couple less than us. Apparently they don't have a gaming section anymore or something, so we never got an answer, which is too
What?
bad because
How is
imagine,
this
you know,
possible?
holding the,
How can you
the Guinness record. That would be amazing. Also, I think we get like a 50,000 euro check or something. That would have been cool
That
as
would
well.
also been cool.
So we're always trying to, enrich the other ways of winning, and to that point, fame is another. Because
I think it's
if you've
really
been building pyramids and just making like amazing cities and making a cultural impact on the game, just the fact that some idiot neighbor showed up with like a big ass army all of a sudden and surprise took everything and ruined you forever. Well, you shouldn't be forgotten. Like
exactly.
we've got oodles of civilizations that and cultures that may have not be longer be present in a way we would recognize them, like the Incas or a lot of Mesoamerican cultures.
Right.
But we still can see a very strong impact. And I mean, to that point, we're finding more and more pyramids and lost temples in the jungles thanks to satellite imagery and stuff like that. Like even more than we can see. But that doesn't mean that you, as a player, shouldn't be able to, project that kind of impact, lasting impact in the game.
Right.
And that's what we're trying to do with Fame, right?
Exactly.
So, I mean, what's important for us is to make sure that the players can play the way they want and feel rewarded for playing the way they want. Not be forced in playing the game, not be forced in destroying everyone at the end because the game is finishing and that's the only way you could win easily at the end. So
Exactly.
it's all about choices for the player, and if you don't want to repeat, the mistakes of our past, it should be possible and should be your way of doing it, and that's actually some of the features that we will reveal later. Actually, will give a bit more sense what I'm saying today. But it's and that's why the genre of game we've been assimilated to, and we've been actually calling ourselves 4X most of the time. And it's funny because personally I will not agree with the definition. It's all about expand, exterminate, exploit.
Explore, expand, exploit. That whole.
And actually, I don't see our games being like that. Actually, it's not about it's not the feeling. It's all about it's about winning. It's about marking history, but it's about again playing the way you want, playing with friends, playing with diplomacy, playing with economy, science. And all these different
Exploration,
ways.
but
exploration
throughout
is
the
awesome.
game, not just at the beginning of the game, but at last.
So it's the key thing is lot of choices, and extermination, one of them, last resort. Unless you'd love to go to war, and if you love to go to war, you should be rewarded for that as well. It should be fun for you, and it should be one of the pleasure, and that's why also on some. So I would not say it's. One very innovative thing that we did with Endless Legend was to actually have battles being spawned on the map, while the rest of the game is still playable. You have a kind of real-time-ish, turn-based-ish, game, kind of a board game on top of a board game. And now what we did with our Humankind is these battles actually are it's fully tactical battles. You have full control of that, still spawn in the game. So. It is very innovative. You could have maybe several battles happening at the same time. You could have a battle and still manage your city while it's happening, or you could have other countries witnessing the battle happening in front of their eyes. But the good thing also with being able to spawn battles, in the middle of the map, is like exactly where it will occur, and if you know exactly where the battle occurs, the terrain takes a lot of importance. And that's why the way we create worlds, the way we have, a world which could be generated, randomly, or it could be, of course, it could be
constructed.
Yeah, it could be historical maps as well. It's the terrain will be key and important. And if you look at history, when battles occurred, choosing where to start the battle was key. It's like who will have the high ground, when to attack. Did they receive reinforcement? Can I stop the reinforcements? Because in our battles, you can bring reinforcement as well, during the battle. So that's also something amazing, something totally unique and key for the game as well. So, we talked about saying that battle should not be the key thing, and it's what we believe. But if it does happen, it should be fun as well.
Yeah. I mean, with all the things, it's a new system. If it's in the game, might as well make sure it's good.
Yes.
Right. I'd like to go back to a much earlier point in the game. We're doing things a bit differently with this one, considering that you're not picking a culture at the very start. Do you guys want to tell us a little bit about this? Let's. I think we have an asset that describes this pretty well. Let's go to the first of our screenshots. Tech team, this is onto you. Yes, right. So this is exploration. Can you tell us a little more about this?
So, well, exploration. It's beautiful to feel that you're the first one to discover everything around you, to have that sense of untouched land. It's kind of, when starting the game, it's a bit of a Garden of Eden. Starting a game is also easy. You don't need to pick, a culture. You just say start, basically, and in which kind of world maybe you want to go in, and that's basically it. Difficulty, that's it. When you start the game, you are, a tribe, discovering the world, discovering maybe where maybe you will want to settle down maybe later, and you have different ways to grow your tribe, whether through hunting, through gathering food and growing more population. And when you reach a certain level of population, you can actually decide to settle down, create your first city, and will be buzzing, with like a lot of population moving all around, and maybe snowballing in a great empire quickly. Maybe you'll decide to do something else. What about gathering knowledge? What about absorbing smaller tribes to your own tribe and become smarter, become stronger, and with that evolve to the first era, being able to build a city. But then what you will have is maybe a little population that starts, but you will have a trait you will keep until the end, defining a bit more who you are. So that's what you see here. It's kind of the definition of who you may be at the end, or during, the Neolithic.
Okay, and as you can see, there's a big friendly dog on the right-hand side. So these are some of the wildlife you can meet in the game. So will there only be mammoths? Will we be making other encounters with wildlife?
No, you'll have several type of game, that you can hunt. Mammoth being the biggest one of them, kind of the most dangerous, but it will not attack you if you don't attack it. So if you attack it, it will defend itself, it will be strong, and you better have a strong tribe to attack it. So it's a kind of a big risk, big rewards kind of game you can hunt. Else, you will have aggressive creatures, but it will be easier to defend yourself. So yes, it will be easier to defend yourself from that.
Okay. What about, did you, even though, well, it says so at the bottom left, this is pre-alpha, do you have a favorite starting strategy that maybe, people a few months from now can pick up when starting?
What's important is, I think, to discover your surroundings. That's why we don't want you to feel that you have to rush to...
there's no rush to build the first city.
Yeah, because finding the right place is important. And it's not because you haven't created your city on the first turn, which is not possible in our game, that you'll
be
lose
behind
the
others.
behind others, which is often a stress that you have. In a 4X game, you feel that you have to build right away, so you start building your first armies, first settlers. So we don't even have settlers in our game, so it's not an issue. So first discover the world, but what I want to make sure is the two main strategies at first. So population or science, should be as good. It's better of choice for the player of what they feel more comfortable. I think the short term one is population. The long term one is gaining a trait, knowledge.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the next style, but just before next slide. Screenshot, sorry. But just before that, we have a question. Someone's asking in the chat, will this be hex-based? And I am actually very proud of that question, because it means that, although you can clearly see the map, not everyone can actually figure out that it's hexes. Because, we've been doing a great job, I think, in making sure that the terrain blends in smoothly. And as you can see, you have like ridges, cliffs, and you have hills, mesas, valleys, forests. So yes, it is hex-based.
Yeah.
But looking at it, might as well not be.
But we think it looks pretty natural. Yeah. We learned an awful lot of this in doing Endless Legend, and we just keep perfecting the same sort of system and further developing it. So, you can turn on the hexes so you can see them. the little black outlines on every, or you can leave it like this, which just looks way cooler.
Yeah, this is the immersive version, I guess.
And to be honest, I never switch on the X's. I think it's very clear once you get used to it, which X is which X, so it should be fine.
Let's move to the next screenshot now, I'm guessing. So yeah, this is what happens when you move from the Neolithic to the very first era. So what can you tell me a bit about this? How this system to choose civilizations came up?
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I first heard about this. It got bandied about. It must have been like 4 years ago, 3 years ago.
The first pitch was 4 years ago.
A long time ago. And someone said, "Well, yeah, look, I mean, when you think about it, it's sort of weird to be able to choose the Babylonians at the beginning of the game and be playing them in the 20th century, or choose the Russians at the beginning of the game, and so this idea of, well, didn't humankind kind of evolve over the millennia through different cultures, and the idea of actually each time you change the era, you change the culture. Now it's a gameplay mechanic version of Earth history, but I think it hews more closely to reality, and it gives you a lot of really interesting strategic decisions as you're playing through the game. I mean, if you want to be like a hardcore science and knowledge player, you choose the Babylonians, and that's great, and you're going along, and all of a sudden, your neighbors start banging on you, so suddenly, in a later era, you have to go a little military to sort of capture some of that lost ground, and you can do that. You're not stuck in the decision you made at the beginning of the game. Yeah. There's more flexibility. I think there's more realism, as far as you can do realism in a game like this. I think it's a brilliant idea. And at first, of course, I said, "What? Nobody else does that?" And I'm like, "Well, why doesn't anybody else do that?" It's like, why don't they? Now I think it's brilliant. I love it.
Okay, let's move over to the next one. And in the meantime, I'm just gonna quickly say this is PC only. This is we've announced that this was going to be Windows and Mac. So yeah, for now, this is what it is. If you want Switch and PS4, we actually have Dungeon of the Endless right after this on Switch and PS4. So looking at the timeline, it may not take us 6 years to port it if this happens, but this is not what we're talking about.
Right.
Let's focus on making sure it comes out on PC, Windows, and Mac first.
Let's make sure it's awesome on the PC,
and then we can talk about the rest later. Someone actually had one more question about the Quest system. So what is it? How are you gonna provide narration in Humankind? Do you even want to talk about this already?
I think we're learning a lot more about what I would call systemic narration. So rather than scripting a story that the gamer plays, that the player plays like in a standard, like a Horizon Zero Dawn or like a Yakuza game, right? They have these like hilarious, funny, wonderful stories that you play. Clearly strategy games are not like that. We had faction quests in our previous 2 games, but now we're thinking more and more that it really is, I know it sounds like a cliche, but it's the player's story. So what we're trying to do is put elements into the game that make it more and more the player's story, and make that story less and less like every other player's story. Mm-hmm. So there's no faction quests, which makes sense since you can change your culture at every era. Yeah. How can you have a quest for that? So we took that out. We're going to have a lot of events, and the events are going to depend on you and your decisions and how you play, and the world you're in, and the other civilizations that you're playing against. So we're trying to have a really rich story that the gamer develops without sort of leading them through it with a traditional quest system. I have to apologize for this because anytime I get a question, I do like a 10-minute answer. But that's basically how we're approaching the narration for,
that's how
for Humankind.
You are the emperor of narrative.
Yeah, I like that. Emperor narrative director, thank you.
So yeah, we're going to be taking just a couple more questions. I'm guessing I just wanted to briefly touch on this amazing screenshot and talk about how I would like to take the time to talk about how cities are going to evolve through time, because of course we're not going to keep the huts from the Neolithic or early Bronze era. But we're going to retain some of the elements of the older times in as we progress through the ages. Do you guys want to address any of that?
Yeah, well, it's basically any of your specific cultural buildings, or the town centers. When you build a city, will always keep the culture it was from. So definitely, for you, it will give you a sense of history of who you were and who you are. But also it's a case when you visit, other towns and other cities, you better understand, what is their past, and to understand their past, it's a better way to understand, of course, their present and future. So it's important to know who is who, and the best way for that is just to check their cities, or maybe checking their armies. Sometimes, they can also keep some armies from the past, or keep building armies from the past that have unique abilities.
All right, let's move over to the next.
Maybe a quick question, but I think it's a good one for the combat.
Yeah, all right. How's the combat going to work? Will it be like Endless Legends turn-based battles on the campaign map?
So I already gave some answers a bit about that previously today, but just quickly, they are very close to Endless Legend. The main difference, if you played Endless Legend and looking at your question, obviously you did, it's the difference is you have full control over any single one of your units. It's a tactical game, and where you have to decide when to move your units, when to attack, where and with what.
Right. So you choose your target, you choose your movement. There's no sense of, you have the option to not auto-resolve, to really do a very detailed tactical layout and an attack strategy.
But keeping in line with Endless Legend and to reduce some of the micromanagement of the later eras when you have a truckload of units, you're still moving armies, you're not moving units individually,
right.
which I think will really help, quicken the pace in the latter stage of the stages of the game. Because, I mean, if you've been like me or like playing any RTS or turn-based strategy game and had to move 200 units across 5 continents to get to that one last city that's just fun. Like a bunker. It can take forever, and sometimes it's just a mood killer. You're going to play until 4 a.m. and you're going to save because you still have a couple turns and you're never going to come back to it. So we're trying to avoid that, and I think that's pretty cool. Quick one for Mount Vesuvius, maybe?
Yeah.
I mean, natural wonders in the game.
That's
the first time.
Of key places, on the map. Obviously, this is Italy, as you can guess.
Yes.
These elements that are important, but I will not tell you more about it today. It's a little surprise for later.
All right, I think we should maybe wrap up. Let's see what the last. We'll switch to the last screenshot, and maybe grab a couple of questions, and then we're going to be switching to the duty stream. As you can see, this is a city that's already evolved quite a bit.
So who does recognize already where it is?
Yeah,
if you do, I will be impressed.
I would say this is some place that is very close to our hearts.
We'll see. We see someone on the chat now. They're not finding it yet. So. Bravo!
Yes, Peninsula is Cherbourg. Well done.
This is indeed Normandy in the UK.
Yes.
Although, I don't think the Kremlin is supposed to be in Brighton.
That's St. Basil's Cathedral, right? That's
that's what it is. And this is the SEGA headquarters here. I think this is SEGA of Europe.
That should be a natural wonder. No, anyway, sorry, yes.
Right, so as you can see, this is clearly a city that's evolved quite a bit, and you can see from the layout of the districts that
we're like an industrial age right now, so it's a big city, time to evolve, expanding, over several regions. So it's definitely quite a good stuff, basically. And you can see a little U-boats invisible from everyone else's. And it's probably being able to take a sneaky shot at the British Navy.
It's at least keeping an eye on things and patrolling the channel there. Yeah, definitely.
All right. I think that's going to be it for us because we've been at this since I don't know about you guys, but I was awake at 7. This opened at 9. It feels like it was yesterday already. I've been here all my life. So I'm going to give you guys a well-deserved rest. And we'll be seeing you shortly after the brand new trailer that we're going to be playing in just a few seconds with some Dungeon of the Endless on PS4. Again, Jeff, Romain, thanks for joining me. So these were our narrative emperor and, chief creative officer.
I'm liking the new title.
Yeah, thanks for dropping by, guys. And we'll see you just after the trailer.
Yeah, thanks for the questions. Thank you.
Cheers.
Hey guys, welcome
Hey.
back. I mean, back because I'm with a new person. I've just ousted the previous narrative emperor. I'm today with, today I'm right now with Xavier from Playdigious. Playdigious are the awesome folks who are actually porting Dungeons of the Endless to PS4 and Switch, amongst many other games actually. But this is the one we're focusing on because this is our baby. This is Dungeons of the Endless. So Xavier, please introduce yourself and Playdigious. Tell us a little bit about you guys.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm the co-founder of Playdigious, and what you do is that we look at awesome games that are not in specific platforms. So could be mobile, could be console, and everything. And we come to see this guy and say, come on, send us the source code. Let us do the porting, the publishing, and everything. And Dungeon of the Endless is really one of our favorite projects right now. We're also working on the mobile version of Dead Cell. And
nice.
so that's what we are doing in this area.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, can't wait to see this game launch.
Yeah, I mean, me too. My first professional foray with Dungeon of the Endless was when I think when we ported the Xbox One and I think iPad version back in 2015. I thought that was it for it, and then the Switch came out and people were crazy about, when are you gonna, please put Dirty on Switch, please put Dirty on Switch, and we're like, sure, that's gonna happen, hopefully, and we actually, we're looking for the right people, and there he is. So we're going to be playing a little bit. I have absolutely no idea about the control scheme for the PS4, so I'm going to hand over the game paddle to you. Can you tell us a little bit about the challenges of porting a PC game to console, maybe?
Yeah, so there is various kind of challenge. First, there is a technical challenge. For example, if the engine is old. In this case, it was an old version of Unities. And getting to a recent, you need to have a recent version of Unities to go on console. And sometimes it's easy, some other it's a nightmare. For example, for the Stone engine, it was a nightmare. There is a lot of things that I would not be too technical there, but it looked easy, but it's not. To be honest.
Easy is just the right amount of technical for me.
It really depends about project. If it's a recent project, you port it on console, it's very easy, but in the case of Dungeon of the Endless, it's not. And it looks like it's a 2D game and so on, but
oh yeah, no.
the engine, everything that's been, these guys are crazy, honestly. The engineers that work on this project, I can tell that since we worked a lot from the source code, they are very, very good. They did some also very, very tricky thing. Our engineer has been a bit crazy about that. Hopefully, that's it.
I mean, I would say sorry, but not sorry. That's one of the reasons this game looks so good. So, and I'm excited. I mean, it looks fantastic as well on the PS4. So I'm excited to see it rolling. Let's click on new game, maybe.
Sure. So I will start from scratch.
From scratch, yeah.
Of course.
I mean, you guys probably know the story, so we're not gonna go into much details. But you're a prisoner or maybe a guard on the spaceship Success, which was a prison ship. For some reason, things go wrong. And then you have to land in the escape pod deep into a dungeon on planet Origa. So you have a team of heroes. You can choose them at the start, depending on their strength. I see that we've actually unlocked quite a bunch of very special ones. Usually you don't see the bug unlocked, but you guys have actually... I don't think you're able to play on PC. This is a PS4 first. Because this one is just like a surprise character. You can only unlock him if you go for random. So that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, there is a not major change from the PC version, but we wanted to unlock it straight on for the console version, so for PS4 and for the Switch version.
Okay.
And so basically the port on console is very close to the PC version, but as you can guess, we needed to have some controller. So it's also close to the Xbox One control.
Yeah.
And it's not the final version.
Okay.
So right now we are still polishing a bit. So yeah, we need to consider that there might have some changes. So let's start the game.
All right. So yeah, we're crashing. That's sad. You were gonna say.
Yeah, I was saying that maybe for people that don't know Dungeon of the Endless so far, from a very naive perspective, from my point of view, it's like if you look on the internet, you say it's roguelike with tower defense, but I would say that it's also a mix between various gender. It's tower defense for sure, but a little bit of RPG mechanism, a little bit of strategy mechanism as well. So it's mix of all this.
So just a quick correction: genres and genders, different.
Yeah. Sorry.
So different genres.
Yeah. Genres. Sorry.
But
Not
there's also people of different genders in the roster. We actually
well played.
Yeah. If you look at it, we have a very inclusive cast of characters, and we're pretty happy with them. So we actually are starting with an all-lady cast. So I actually don't remember that lady's name, but I do remember Sarah Newman, of course. So yeah, show us how this thing works then.
Yeah, so I like this kind of the characters I'm playing here because she's a fast movement.
Yeah.
It's especially I think it could be recommended to start the game.
Yeah.
But after each character has some specific power like that. So basically, when you are here, you open a room, and from that you can have specific thing that you can do in this room. The goal in the end is to open enough room to find the exit. And when you find the exit, you can pick the crystal here and go to the exit. However, when you pick the crystal, you will have an endless number of monsters that will come to you, so you would better prepare all the passage to the exit, so that you can have some tower defense mechanism to save you. So typically, when you come to a new room like that, the first thing to do is to build something to increase the resources. So basically, you have 4 resources here. So there is the mechanical, and there is the energy,
Production, science, food, and dust.
So let's create this one.
Yeah, the industry first. I know. Oh yeah, I call it production, but
And
I'm wrong. It's fine.
so what I would do is to put also some.
Okay, you're the prudent type.
Yeah, I prefer. I mean, I don't want to screw up.
Yeah, it's
like
fine.
That. I'm not kind of used to this kind of thing, so
It's okay.
please bear with me. Okay, so we are good here. So I'm changing the characters, getting here in this area, and I will open a new place. So in this case, some monster can attack. So in this case, I got lucky. I got a bit of science in addition that would generally, but not all the time, help me to increase my my stuff.
Yeah, you might find
let's see.
the previous occupants of the place.
Yes, you need to play with the resource smartly, because here, I don't have enough resources to build up this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And the next turn I will get 11 more. So the more tools like that I create, the more I get each turn. So I would just put just one like that here, and then let's go to the next one.
All right.
So in this case, I was lucky.
Yeah, you found something and not monsters again.
Yeah. So no monsters. I got something. So to check about the equipment, I'm going there. However, I'm not so lucky, because obviously there is some.
You can't use them.
Yeah, equipment that are fit to specific characters.
Too bad.
So
you might find someone who can use it, or be able to sell it somewhere.
So what is good to know is that I only have 2 characters, but when I will progress through the game, I will have more characters. So let's build. Let's see if I can build some. Not yet. So I just build some. No, so
I need to. You would need to
I need more energy for that. So let's move to another room.
Did you know that if you put a hero into an occupied room, it will actually prevent enemies from spawning in there?
Yeah, so it could be good to. However, it's depend about the risk you want to take.
Yeah, of course.
So if you want simply, I have a very safe player. I want to be close to the.
That makes sense.
To the protection thing to protect, but let's progress a bit more. So here is it's interesting. So
Science crystal.
Yeah. So it's a research facility, and I can improve some elements. So let's see.
Well,
what do you recommend?
I mean, to be fair, the prisoner prod is always good. It's a very, very cheap turret, and you've built a bunch of those, so they will naturally automatically upgrade. I mean, I usually recommend going for an improved major module, the ones on the left. But sadly, the one that's there is a LAN module, and that is no use to us at this stage. So let's go with the prisoner prod for now.
Okay, so if I lose, I can say that's
Yeah, that's my fault.
That's perfect. Okay.
I mean, we're in too easy. If we lose, it means well, actually that's happened more times than I can count. So you know.
Yeah, I have to say that. So since I'm managing the company, I have a lot of things to do at the same time. So
you're good at keeping plates spinning?
I try to oversee all the work from the development, the marketing and everything. But in the end, I'm doing pretty much nothing. Just kidding. But yeah, so I am not, if you are looking for a professional player, that's not the way to go. But it's good, especially I think for a new player that don't know the game, so they can discover this game at a quite fast.
I mean, to be fair, the difficulty level names are kind of tricky because too easy is just like normal, and easy is actually super goddamn hard, unless you know the game really well inside and out. So it was just a different time, you know, like 2013. We thought being funny with difficulty names was making us unique. I mean, you know, some people liked it. Some people hated losing on the first try because they were like, "Yeah, I'm gonna play on easy because I'm not a noob." Well, you know what? We just decided that we're gonna be mean to you, and so you lost. We're sorry about this, but yeah, we've kept the difficulty names anyway. But we've just not done that anymore, and I'm not sure we would ever do it again. Oh, but you've met somebody.
Yeah, so that's...
that's the merchants.
Personally, I like RPGs, so that's part of the element of the game I really like. The fact...
Can we get rid of the... let's get rid of the spear we have, maybe.
Oh yeah, we can sell it, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we've got a sword. Is it good? It seems...
So what I can do is I will take this. I think it is a good one, yeah. Okay.
I mean, yeah, that's really going to increase her DPS.
Let's only take the best one.
Yeah. I mean, isn't it going to make her slower a bit?
Let's don't rest. We keep a bit of.
I think you could equip, because you had a sword. You could equip it to Sarah.
Sure.
Yeah, there it is. Actually, the letter opener.
Yeah. So I am overpowered now, right?
You should be pretty powerful for the first level. I mean, yeah. You have some dust left, so you might want to, turn the lights on in one room and go all the way back there. Because you're in trouble.
No, that's fine, you see.
Oh, they're attacking. Oh, yes. So those like to attack main modules. That's annoying. But hey, it's fair. At least you're safe. Right.
Okay, good. So let's open up, like, say, which one I should open. I will open this one.
You can turn on the lights in one of the other rooms.
But which one? Maybe this one?
Yeah, probably can protect the merchant this way.
Yeah. All right. So let's see if I can do something more here. That's interesting. I will update this one. What do you think?
I mean, I don't personally use those, but if that's your strategy,
no. Sorry, I believe I was thinking about something else.
All right.
So. Should we randomize or?
I mean, I would reset maybe.
Yeah, reset. Let's reset.
Food replicator too. That will be good once we have the science required. Because leveling up our heroes at the start is a very good strategy.
All right, so let's move here. Maybe I will put a little bit more.
I could probably.
Here.
I mean, they're level 2, so they should be enough. So how did the people at Amplitude, the ones we saw before, react when you guys said, hey, we want to port your game to Switch and PS4?
Yeah, I mean, there was, from the start, there was really up to that. Mm-hmm. Obviously, they are working on so many projects at the same time, so they need to make a hard choice about which project they could focus on.
Yeah.
And that's why we are working on this and not them. because if they were doing the Switch version and PC version and the marketing and all this with Sega, they would not work on other projects. So that's why we come and say, okay, we take in charge everything, so you can really focus on other stuff. And I think this is what they like. And also before creating Prodigious, I co-founded a company called Dartemu.
Oh, I know those guys. You guys may know them as well.
Yeah, so I sold the company 5 years ago, but back in the day we worked on Final Fantasy VII on Steam, which is a pretty good rating. We also have some game that we port and publish, like Double Dragon, and more recently, just after we left,
that's my childhood right here.
They did Wonder Boy on Switch, which is just awesome. So they know that to have a good track record, that we would at least try to not do a bad job.
Yeah.
In some cases you are not lucky, you don't see anything, but at least we try to do a good job. So that's why Romain and his team say, okay, let's give it a try. It's better to not do anything, and that's why we are very happy to work on this. Do you want to try a bit?
Sure. I'm not really familiar with.
Since you have seen me playing.
Yeah, I just want to. What's the? Oh yeah. All right. It is. I think I got the hang of it, sort of. I'm just gonna play a lot less cautious than you, and see if. Oh crap! I wanted to. How do I switch between players again?
It's this button.
Oh yeah, all right.
If the two characters, you press the two buttons at the same time.
Okay. Oh, if I want to grab the whole group. Oh, right. Cool. Yeah. No, I remember back when we demoed the Xbox version. I thought after playing with it for the whole week, because that was when I moved to Paris. When I had just joined Amplitude back then, and I had no other game at home than the PC version of this. So for a whole week, I played this 8 hours a day on stream, showing people at Paris Games Week. And then I got home and I only had that to play as well. So I sunk like countless hours in it. And I thought that the console version was actually faster if you knew what you were doing, because you could give orders without having to like reach around with the mouse. It was really good. So I'm really happy to see that it's coming back. Right.
I think it's a good example to have something, someone who didn't play the console version and see how it goes. The challenge we face with the console version is that there is a lot of action to do.
Yeah.
So
how can I zoom out on the map? Do you remember?
You use this.
Oh, right.
So it take, I would say, for people that know about Dungeon of the Endless, it take I would say like 5 minutes to get used to everything. And once you get this, at the first it look a bit unnatural, but after a little bit of gameplay you understand why this specific choice has been made.
Yeah.
It's because it makes things much quicker. You have some kind of shortcuts in a way that you can go very quick in a way you are playing the game. So we are still polishing a little bit of that. We are doing some playtests, bringing some people to play the game. Here at Gamescom we are meeting a lot of journalists who are trying the game.
Yeah.
So in this case, maybe I can help. So you want to?
Oh, heroes. Okay. Yeah, that was the thing. I didn't recognize the button thing. All right, so I just want to level her up.
So yeah, you use the
L1.
Yeah.
Right, and then it's
and then
level up square.
Square.
Okay, so I'm gonna. There you go. Confirm, yes, because she kicks ass and she's full of gear. So there's
That's
just
perfect.
No reason not to use her. Right, 69% dust. Nice. Let's see if we can get it. 79. It's even better. And we found the exit. So we're gonna try and turn the lights on everywhere. We're gonna turn it off here, just in the hopes of getting a safe trip. So we're gonna take her with us. Let's see. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Right. Also, if you're hearing sounds behind us, this is because the Gamescom is actually closing its doors to the public right now. And so we're sticking still. I think we probably have like what 50. You have 15. You have an appointment after, right? So we've got what 15 minutes maybe.
Yeah, around that.
Okay,
yeah.
all right. And then we'll say goodbye. But this is dedication. This is us staying after hours to show you guys Dungeon of the Endless on PS4. I was going to say Switch. No, this is PS4. So right now we're trying to get the crystal back to up to the next level. Sadly, this is not the end of the dungeon. Far from it. This is only the second level. We've been farming up quite a bit. Not so much in terms of things are happening. In terms of foods, but everything else, I think we've got quite a nice stock. We're gonna try and see if we can make it all the way to the crystal without, being ambushed by monsters. It seems to be working pretty fine. Let's see,
Where's the other
Oh,
characters?
Hero's ready. Actually, she's here, I think. All right, R2, that's the one. It says 2 out of 2 already, so even though I couldn't see her.
Congrats.
Yeah, right, so restrooms on the way. Actually, this is also a problem we're encountering at Gamescom, because we have about, I don't know, 60,000 people every day. That's a lot of people to have going in one bathroom. So, yeah, after this problem is evoked, logistics, yeah, she's got it. We all got it. Let's move on to the next floor. So what do you think? Do you think we did a good job? I think we did an okay job so far.
We took some time, but
Yeah.
I think it's good so people who don't know the game see how it goes. But now, since we have a professional player now,
Yeah, exactly.
you can show your
If
skill.
if there was a pro league of this, well, actually, I wouldn't rank at all. I think the fastest run of this on speedrunning.com is 25 minutes. It's just some person was like incredible. It's just like they would just open like several rooms at once and have people like just hold the doors and like be in rooms that are empty and dark just to prevent monsters from spawning, and then open more rooms and just like a mad dash to the exit through and through. And apparently sometimes it works. So I wouldn't recommend this for this game at all, mostly because you're gonna die, son.
Yeah.
But if that's the kind of stuff that you think you're good at, by all means. Right. So I'm gonna take
Take some foods.
the whole team in here and keep on going with my scout. Yeah, because we're kind of low when it comes to food, and of course that's kind of bad. We want to level up. Let's see what kind of stuff we can unlock. Oh yeah, that's the
awesome.
one. That's the one we wanted.
Yeah.
Now we can actually afford it. So we're gonna get that. 3 turns from now, it's gonna be discovered. So we're good. Was there anything you didn't expect when you ported the game, apart from some of the harder 3D stuff? Any fun stories from porting the game?
Okay.
Sorry, I just asked you for a fun story out of the blue. Like
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm
Maybe you don't have anything. Actually, similarly, if you're in the chat and you have a question about Dungeons and Dragons or its port on
Yeah.
PS4 or Switch, now's the time. I have the perfect person to answer those questions.
Yeah, there is one question we got often is about if the game would release physically.
Oh,
So I can't confirm 100%, but there is 99% chance that we'll do work on the collector edition at
Nice.
least. So this is something we really want to do, and that we pitch to Amplitude team, and we say, okay, everything is digital right now, but having some kind of material in hands, it's really make the difference.
yeah. I mean, especially if it's
Yeah.
collector. All right, so this
So-
collector might happen then.
Yeah, that I would say pretty much for sure. I can't confirm when, but this is really
Okay.
something we'll work on, and I think that would be we'll try to do something very high quality.
All right.
So yes, about the release date. Unfortunately, there is not a final release date right now. I would say that it won't release too far away from now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a matter to see if we are happy with the version that we are there, to tweak the little detail, to adjust the size of some elements, and to see how we can polish this, especially the very beginning of the game for
Yeah.
people that don't know the game. But
Yeah, it's always been.
in like a few minutes, you just you didn't try the console version, and then you
Yeah.
are pretty much
I
in
mean,
it. But
It's like being on a bike. You never forget how much it hurts the first time. All right, so we found a merchant again, so that's good. This one is trading in food, although I think I'd like to keep some of my foods, especially we had one in the previous level. Wit is not something we need a lot of right now, because we're not using modules much. So happy pills, that's good. The Restrainer is great armor, but it's good for tanks, and neither of those characters are tanks. And the one we just met, Troy, is actually he's also kind of a speedster, so I'm gonna recruit him as well. He's a great DPS. I really love him, but yeah, I'm not gonna give him some armor. Right, so let's carry on. Oh, monsters! Finally,
Yeah.
I was wondering what those guys were. Help! Right. So the only problem having those two guys in the same team is that they're using the exact same. Well, they're using swords, both of them. So it's kind of a pain in the ass, but you know, at least they look really cool doing that. So, which is one of the, I guess, many other genres of this game. Also hack and slash, only when you have swords, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, they're doing the slashing. You're just watching the slashing, but. Oh, I think we actually gonna get like a full circle, which is horrible. Those are so unlucky. Oop. Yep. Looks like there's a whole lot of people in here. Let's see. Let's use a special skill. Oh, I used a special skill, and then there was nobody left.
Right.
That's too bad. So sad. Oh god, I'm really gonna be forced to open this room. Wow. Help. There's a few monsters. I thought there was only one guy who'd spawned. I was like, what are you even doing here? Bobby, no friends. Right, so I am gonna remove Troy from here. I'm gonna start opening doors on the other side, I think. Yes. The problem is I'm taking risks by doing this because the more rooms you have that are not lit up,
yeah.
the bigger of a wave you're building for eventually when they crash down into your party. So I'm gonna build some turrets here, and considering the level 2, we should be able to defend the merchant. Also, we have a bunch of food, so let's go and level somebody
Improved.
else.
Yeah, exactly.
Confirm. Oh, 41, that was all we had. Oh god, that's also a dead end. Well, that is terrible. Everything sucks. We're gonna die. Or will we?
Maybe you got lucky. We'll see.
I mean, I'm just gonna turn this one on.
Maybe to put some. You can put the game in pause anyway.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, because Troy's getting his ass kicked.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. You know, he does
Yeah.
so much damage, especially with the help of the turrets that they made it through. All right. So looking at what we have, the only thing we haven't opened is the bottom right. I am really wondering whether we want to go open those.
Or you want to finish the level?
We could just make a run for it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go here, turn that room off, turn that one on. This way we have rooms on both sides of this one that have people, and then I'm gonna grab everybody and put them in the exit room, and grab Sarah and have her carry the crystal. Right, so boop, there we go. Alright, so she's gonna hit the fan. Oh, there was only one room here. Oh, this guy's really fast. So one of the problems, of course, of carrying the crystal is that you're a lot slower.
Yeah, of course.
Eh,
And if people are whacking you in the butt, you're also a lot slower. But thankfully, this is still the second level, so we made it. And we unlocked a new picture in the album.
So let me try to do the third
Oh
floor.
yes, sorry,
and then I'll,
I'm hogging the
I will
game.
jump in. But with your management, of course.
I mean,
Advice.
I'm just happy to help.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool project. I also played it a bit on iPad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, and I say, why this game is not on Switch? I mean, it's.
I mean,
pretty cool.
yeah.
I mean,
Of course. But it was the dark ages of 2015 when we released it on iPad, so the Switch was only a dream back then.
So I still play safe, as you know.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
What are we missing? Probably
We're
food,
missing
right?
food, I guess. We have
Yeah.
a truckload of
Yeah,
production.
let's do that. Let's move everybody, probably,
Mhm.
to this room. I like to pick here. It's good characters, I think. I go. Okay, they're coming. Okay, should we?
I mean,
what do
you can
think?
you can look
Can I
and lit
open
this
it?
one up and put a module, and maybe put your guys in the next room. This way, you're gonna prevent them
I
from.
put one here. you
No,
say?
I meant major modules, like the science one, maybe.
Okay, yeah. And a bit of protection as well, maybe.
Sure.
Or yeah.
I
like
mean,
this.
I don't think we really need it, especially if we put our guys in the next room, because they're gonna be preventing monsters from spawning in there.
So I put one guy.
Just grab everyone and put them up there, and then carry on.
Okay. What we got now? Speed movement bonus. Oh, she was off fast already, so now it's. It's
Doesn't
gonna
it come
be-
with a drawback? What's? No, that's actually just a purely positive effect.
Yeah.
In this
so
game,
that's-
it is so rare.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna
I got lucky this time.
we're gonna
So yeah,
enjoy this.
Yeah, sometimes there is some random event like that. Okay, so let's see. This time we need. Okay, so what should we take? What do you think this now?
I mean, I would
Not
try
really
and
for worth it, right?
hold on. I think the scarf is actually really good. I'm not sure what it does. I don't the scarf on the left or right. Right. Oh yeah, me
Very
first. I
towards-
think is something that makes the monsters attack you.
Okay, as a tanker. then?
It's great if you're a tank. They're
Yeah,
not.
but
None of them
yeah.
is a tank really.
So
I
let's
guess.
see
I
it
guess
like
Sarah would be good maybe. We don't have enough science for this yet.
Should we take this one, even if it's a small one? Or
What
don't
to
worth
do?
it? Little bit of defense and
Yeah, sure. By all means.
it's yeah. I mean it's not. Let's since I'm using here mostly. Let's take this. So right now should I? Okay, here we go. Oh, look at that.
Oh wow. I mean,
I will try to explore a bit more, right?
yeah,
Let's take
because
a bit
that is
more-
very risky.
yeah.
It's a dead end on top of that, so that really sucks for us because that means that the stuff we're building up there is not protected. I guess now is the time we could put some some
module?
modules there.
Okay, let's see what I can open here. So, yeah.
It's the only one we got.
So far, we need to do
Yeah,
something
I
at
would
some
I would
point.
even put a major module in there, like might as
Yeah.
well. Some more food maybe, because you got level 2, and this way we can level
Oh,
them
by
up.
the way, I can level a bit or not?
Yeah,
really?
yeah. I mean, yeah, level
Let's
Troy, I guess.
see. Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
All right, so let's go in new. So I need to go this way, for example.
Sure. I would bring somebody else,
Somebody
maybe.
else, yeah.
Oh god.
Oh god. Okay, there we go. Let's pick everybody
Yeah.
getting there, or yeah, we'll see. Oh, there is also this some in the top. Okay.
I mean, you know, I wouldn't say you're in trouble, but yeah, this is time to use your special skills.
Let me go. Oh, sorry. I'll take this. Oh, I think it. Do you think it would be too bad? you
I think it would be good to use not hers, but maybe yeah, his definitely murder, and maybe maybe the nurses. Oh, actually, never mind. They kill everybody. Oh.
That's okay.
Why do we even bother? But we got a lot of dust. We could turn on some of the lights.
Okay, so let's pick, for example, this.
Yeah, definitely this one at least,
Yeah. And
and maybe this one. Yeah.
okay,
this-
so
th-
this way. Should I put more stuff there, or a bit of different thing, or? Okay, there we go. I will build something here as well.
Is it
Maybe
turned
just-
on?
Oh no! I
It looks
can-
like it's off. Yeah.
Let's go, or I will close this one, open this,
Turn this one on. Yeah. Okay.
and then I will put a bit of defense module just for the fun.
Okay. Maybe you can put a major module in there.
I'm thinking if it's not a bad thing to not go to the exit not too far from
Oh,
that,
I mean, in the early levels, usually like the strategies, you try and accumulate
'cause-
as many
yeah,
points as you can.
okay. So let's
Um,
do that. There you go. Okay, so in this case, there we go. Let's put some food again, maybe, to have level ups. Okay, let's
Yep.
see.
I mean,
Alright.
nothing should get through this, I think. Oh, sorry.
Should I try in the top or on the?
I think
The
let's
left.
try left.
Okay, there we go. Good.
Okay.
There you go.
I mean, oh, monsters up top. Problems, problems, trouble, trouble. Get everyone.
No.
Protect the crystal.
Let's see
Oh
how
boy.
it goes.
Yeah, it looks terrible, and then you see that you have.
It's not so bad, yeah.
Yeah, they're more than ready to take on this team, I think.
Oh.
Oh, I hadn't seen that one. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
And there's one just beneath the crystal. Yeah, that's gonna be bad. I mean, that could be bad, but then again,
Okay, let's do.
okie doke. We can actually turn on the lights somewhere else.
Sorry again. So do we have monster in the top as well? Oh yeah. So. Oh no. Okay. There you go. All right. So we open a few more.
You have enough
then
dust to light up a room. I would light up. Yeah, this one maybe.
This one. There we
Yeah.
go.
Do you have a science thing? Oh, crap! Quick,
Oh,
quick,
yeah,
quick!
yeah.
Send everyone.
There we go. I didn't see this one coming.
Yeah, no, me either. Yeah, so one of the big problems, of course, when your crystal's being attacked is that, you lose a lot of dust. And depending on the monster, it can be a lot. And it can go very fast. So in the early levels, it's quite forgiving. But even this one, I think it hurt us more than we realized, maybe. Oh, well.
What should we get?
We got a lot of dust already. And a tools belt.
What should we do? Is this? Oh, there is some equipment I didn't see.
A sandwich.
Bit of defense. Why
Oh.
not?
What, Mickey Mouse ears? Iron Shield. Oh, close enough.
Should we? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. There is some maps coming. So let's see. Okay. The good thing with the game is that if you want to take your time, you can. In a way
yeah.
that you have the pause button. So that's pretty okay. There we go.
I mean, unless you're in multiplayer, in which case, I don't think it's possible.
okay, let's take the crystal then. Should we go to? I will bring all the. I will open this one.
Yeah, and put everybody in the left
And-
one. You don't need to turn this one on.
Yeah. Accept here. So I will go up in this area,
Yep.
and I think
Let's go.
let's go there. There we go. So now.
Like, I can hear it, but I know this one by heart, so I know how this goes. Actually, quite well. All right, let's
Not too
go.
bad. So a lot
Good
of
stuff.
resources and
Yeah, no, it's a pretty good start. All right, well, I think that this is gonna be all for us for tonight. So you were telling me that you're not set on a release date just yet, but when will we know more? Do you know when you're gonna be announcing when this will be coming to PS1 Switch? Will it be like the same release at the same time, or maybe separate?
yeah, so it will be synchronized,
Oh,
Switch
nice.
and PS4. The release date will depend of several factors. Would we do the collector edition at the same time of the digital, or would it be launched a bit after? That's that part of the thing. Also, is the quality-wise, whether we are happy with the final result. As you can see, it's not too.
It's looking pretty good. It's
I mean,
not too shabby. I think.
It's not too bad. I mean, there is a lot of some minor stuff, size thing to adjust, but once again, we really want to be extra careful about that. So I think in 1 or 2 months we will be able to confirm the dates. So we
Okay.
want also to be sure that for our console there is some kind of process where you need to submit your game.
Oh
and,
yeah, I remember that.
We want to wait that we are safe on this area.
Yeah.
And for any fellow developer that watching this, you know how it could be tricky in some case.
Of course.
So yeah, so this is something we need to be safe, and when we know that we are safe and that we announce a release date, to be 100% that we will hold the release date.
Okay.
So yeah, anyway, it would be not too far from now. So
I'm just realizing how close this elevator shot actually is to the opening levels of opening scenes of Akira. I don't know. I've been playing
Yeah.
this 100 hours, and it's just occurring to me right now. And I'm actually quite happy that I don't own a Switch, because otherwise, between this and The Witcher 3 coming to Switch, I would never leave my bathroom. I would just die in there, I think. So yeah, I'm very happy that you had the opportunity of coming with us and show this little gem. Again, a game that is very dear to my heart. So yeah, coming, well, maybe soon, and we'll know more anyway about the release date very soon. Xavier, that was a pleasure for me to have you on stream.
yeah,
I hope
pleasure
we'll
to
see
meet-
each other
meet
very
you.
soon, and I hope
Awesome.
we're going to be putting out a lot more great games for you to port to other consoles and platforms. So thanks again for joining us. This was the Amplitude stream on the SEGA booth. I think SEGA is going to be streaming the rest of the week as well. So although I do not know what the schedule is, but I'm sure that you can probably find that somewhere. I would say that how about we close this on another Humankind trailer, just because we just haven't seen that one enough. And on behalf of the tech team, Matt and Jay, and me, Xavier, and Matilda, who's here from Emotional Support, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.